Good day, we're going to show you how to remove three hub body on this bicycle. This is a Titan, so this video is explaining on how to do it. So for this bike, all tools that we need to replace this is the chain remover, the Allen key, and the spanner that can turn the nut loose. Sorry, and then obviously two of these number 17 spanners, or 15 or 14, whatever your size is, to tighten this part. You will need two from this side and this side. When we assemble again, then we will show you how we use both of these to get the assembling right. As you can see, I've got rotation both sides, so that means there's some problems with my free hub body because you don't get the clicking sound, and you can see this, the chain is getting stuck and it's not turning correctly. So there's a big problem in here, and that is then obviously your free hub body. So this is how to remove it. So first, we're going to remove our lever here. We pull the jockey, and then we take out our wheel. And have a look how you take it out, so that you can be sure to insert it the correct way. This bicycle is upside down because we don't have the correct tool or stand to put the bicycle on, so this is working upside down. So that's the first step, to take the wheel out. Now that's free from the cycle. Now we're going to start removing here. So first is our pin that lock the wheel. So it's got a spring here, the pin coming in from that side, and then put it all back together so that you don't lose a part. The next step is to remove the sprocket or the cassette to come off, and for this you will need special tools. Each bicycle's got its own sprocket removal tool, so you must just look for yours. So this is clockwise and this is anti-clockwise. Now for the sprocket to for the cassette, to remove the cassette, you need to move clockwise this way around and the other way around. So it's not like this is the wrong one. This is the right one. Yes, it goes in here. So this needs to go anti-clockwise, and then this tool is to keep your chain or your cassette in a correct certain matter. Sometimes it's very tight, so you will need to get somebody to help you with it, but we already worked on it before, so it's not that difficult to get removed this time around. Alright, so then you take this out, and then be careful, check how your cassette is taking out. So this is your first part. You first take out the tool. Sprocket holder. Get your first key, second one, and the cassette. And this is your free hub body. This is your free hub body that we need to remove. So okay, the following part is now to get this out. So this is not real tight, it's usually a bit more locked, but this time around it's not that tight, so we just release it here, and this is coming out here. And remember not to tighten this too much, because that will also lock your free hub body. Okay, so this side, it is, remember your left and right. So pack everything out according to how your cycle is assembled and reassembled. So here we've got our washer is coming in first, and then our pin. Then we take this part out this side. It's coming loose here from the nut. Remember also to buy some new grease. You can clean your bike, clean everything inside, and then you can re-grease it. Be careful when you pull it out. If you don't want to replace the ball bearings, then you need to carefully take out your inner pin otherwise your ball bearings might fall out, but the grease will supposedly hold it in. So this is coming in from this side, so put this part exactly here so that you know how it's coming back in again. Now if you're replacing the bearings, most bicycles, or all bicycles, according to other videos I saw, it's got 9 bearings in here, in the casing, in this body, and on this side it's the same, also 9. So taking off the nut, and you can see there's a further 9 bearings coming in there. Back there. Now it's to loosen the inner thing to get this hub out. So this is working with a Allen key. Some other cycles got special parts to remove it. This one is working just with an Allen key. So we carefully put in our Allen key so it fit in, and anti-clockwise is to loosen it. So we're putting it anti-clockwise, and there it's coming loose till it comes out, because this is screwing in there. And then this part is the nut itself, and now at this stage it can't come out because of the bearings. So to remove, we would need to take out the bearings, and then this nut can come out so that we can put in the new hub. So alright, and be careful. If you can see here, there's already one bearing that fall out of place. That is actually where it's supposed to be, and it falls down there. So just remember, when you're putting all back together, to put that back in, or if you clean, first grease and then put in your bearings. So what we use is a tweezer that works better to get all out. So we take each one by one and putting it in there, and count that it should be 9. Then you can always be sure that it's all the bearings. 7, 9. Leave your tweezer there. Alright, then it's this part of the pin that come out, and then when you go buy a new one, make sure that you take this part with, because this is the part that we're gonna try to purchase. If you listen to it, it should make a krr sound, but it doesn't do it anymore, and it gets stuck. There you hear it a bit. So now it's working fine, but then all of a sudden it goes a few turns, and then all of a sudden it gets stuck. So that is what we're going to get a new part for. It's got certain pins inside that clip over, and then when the bicycle is turning the wheel, then it locks. So that is how this is working. Okay, so we found our new Free Hub body. We did some cleaning of all our equipment. So this is the whole assembly line, and this is all the tools required, plus your tweezer and the ball bearings, still in some mineral turpentine to take off the old grease. So what we're going to do first, this is our wheel. We've cleaned inside and cleaned that side as well. We took out all the ball bearings, so we're going to do the re-greasing and repackaging now. Okay, so we got it nice and clean. Now we're going to re-grease it. Probably get tools to re-grease, but I'm just using my finger and neatly packing in the grease. Now we're going to insert our bearings, 9 on each side, so we need to count as we do it. So it can be a bit difficult to get the last one in. Because of all the grease, you can't really see where you are, or where there is a space, but they should fit in 9. There you are, there it's pressed, and hopefully all 9 is in without them sticking out somewhere, but that we can make sure when we put in the pin. Okay, this is a new 3 Hub body. Before you put in the bearings, the first 9 bearings comes in here. You first need to put in the pin, otherwise the pin won't fit in. So this is this way around, this is coming on here, this is the pin fitting in here, screwing tight there. So that is the first part coming in, that needs to be in, and then we're going to start packing our bearings. First part is to put in grease. We already put some grease in here, but I'm going to add some grease. Get a nice feel all around. Make sure that the grease is all neatly inside the package. Then as soon as you got it in, then you can start repacking. I'm using a tweezer, which seems to do the job easily. The ninth one you also need to press a little, so come neatly in, and there you got all 9 in. Sure that's all neatly in. Add some grease as a filler, just to keep it there. Okay. And the following part will be to insert it here. This is screwing in here. And then you carefully take the Allen key. Remember there's bearings on this side as well, so don't let it fall out. Make sure that this is clean. Carefully insert it in there. And turn to tighten it. Okay, so that part is in. We're getting to our next part, putting in our pin. So we got the wheel this way around. So we know our pin is showing this way around as we packed it out. So this is this side, it's coming in here. You need to carefully put it out on the other side so that your bearings doesn't come out. Now, according to your wheel and how it fits into your frame, this nut needs to be a certain way out on this side and in on this side, so it can be adjusted. Mine is already on the right space, so I didn't do adjustment. I'm just going to tighten it. Mine is using 2 number 15 spanners. Your bike might work with a 13 or 17. They usually give you in a pack of 3. Now the other thing that you need to be sure of is not to tighten it too much, because by tightening too much you will seize up this, or this will then not be able to turn. So you can feel it all the time just to make sure that it's got free play. If you've got an older one, then it would have not turned anymore. This is quite a new one, so it can work under the pressure. Now this is all nice and tight. Make sure it's nice and clean here. Everything is moving, all the parts is moving okay inside. This back on. You can just turn it around till you find the right spot. It only goes in one way. And still check if it's free play. And now it's by tightening it. It's not necessary for the chain lever when you're tightening it, because it's the other way around. Just always feel if it's nice and tight. Yes, we come out to our final part. That is to insert the pin. Yeah. This is also getting some grease in here because it's a part that's obviously turning, and the grease helps for the stuff not to rust. This pin that we tightened with the 2 number 15 screws in the video, where we've tightened this side and this side, make sure you don't tighten it too much, otherwise your wheel won't turn. It needs to have free play here. Here you can see the free play. So you must make sure this is loose, and you tighten the top one. So you need to have 2 of these, and it needs to be cycle number 15s. And then you, as soon as you got the free play, then you can tighten it, and then it's there to move and to free play. And now we're going to put it back into the wheel. So it's by lifting up here. Needs to go in there. Pull and drop in. And then as soon as you've dropped it in, then you need to do some adjustment and some fine tuning to make sure that you get it completely right, and then do your test. So like you see here, we've got a bit difficulty to come in here. If it's like this, we're going to get our wheel touching there. If we've got this, we've got our flywheel where the brake is touching, so it needs some adjustment. And then you need to do your test by turning and see if it's working.